He is one of the most flawless leaders we have seen in the game of basketball. He's got the aura, the charisma. He's got all of these different things. And we're sitting up here spending all of this time, even currently, talking about free throws. This is what the players were talking about.
Who is the AC on right now?
Not I.
Perk, I knew it. I knew it.
Listen, you know, hey, big fellas can't be hot, Allie. Shit.
Oh, no, they start sweating.
Dude, my room is 65 right now, and I would rather put on this hoodie than be sweating around this room. It's crazy.
I put shoes on because my feet were cold.
Wow. Wait, Perk, Rich, are you guys in the same room? Are you guys bunking together at summer camp for the conference finals?
No, we're in the same hotel, but we're
in the same one.
Yeah.
Oh, we could tell.
People don't know, like, when you're in college and you have roommates in college. Perk never had that, but yeah, roommates in college. Oh yeah, I was surprised. Well, I kid you not. The first time we get our key rooms. The first time we get our key rooms when you're like a rookie and you're like, oh wait, we get our own room. This is cool, because you didn't have that in college. You don't know. I don't know what the NBA is like. So we get to the first hotel and we go get our room keys, and I'm like, who in my room? Oh shit, we get our own room. I've never had my own room before. This is fucking awesome.
Well, imagine going to having your own room to going down to the G League, and you get there and it's like, oh, here, y'all two in the room together. And I'm like, no, the fuck we not. No, we're not. Matter of fact, I'm about to pay for my own room. See, people don't know the grind of the G League, man.
You guys share rooms in the G League?
Yes, when I played in the G League, you share rooms. And I was like, oh, hell no. When I got called back up to finish that, like, last 3 games of the regular season and postseason run, I took nothing for granted. The private jet, the Ritz-Carlton, because, you know, we stayed at the Best Western and Motel 6s. I'm telling you, it wasn't, you know, you go from that NBA life to that G League life, it's a whole different.
Perk, you're talking about the time with the Cavs?
Yeah, hey, Allie, we was practicing at a church. Like, you may be sitting up here doing, you know what I'm saying, some curl and press, and they might have a senior citizen right next to the side of you. You got to wait because you can't do a superset because they end up doing it. Like, we practiced at a church in Canton.
I'm not going to lie. When I heard that you were going to the G League, I think that's when my soft spot was created for you, because I was like, no, how could they do that to that man? I kid you not. I tell people that all the time. I used to like cry. I wanted to give you a hug. No disrespect, but at that point of your career, I was like, what? No.
Hey, it was a great experience. Real quick, it'll take me 15 seconds to say this. They have so many guys in the G League that get offers from overseas, 6-figure offers. They turn them down. All they want is that one moment, 110 day, just to have a jersey. Richard, I think, well, you weren't, I don't think you and Shannon was on the team at that time, but they had went on the road. We played a game at the arena. And when those guys walked in the locker room and like seen Braun, Locker, Kevin, like they was tripping the fuck out. Guys just want that one moment. But that's why, like, when you see guys in the NBA now that be like, especially role players, you like, hey, man, y'all better stop taking this shit for granted.
Yeah, there's some hungry boys. There's some hungry boys behind you, bro. Them boys is hungry.
It's so true. So with that said, let's get started. Great storytelling. And I'm glad the two of you are not bunking together in the same room. Heaven forbid, there might be some fallouts. Richard Jefferson, Channing Frye, and I've been told that we can now only refer to you as Big Perk the Plug.
Yeah.
He has
Why do you say it like that?
The plug. Because I actually like it.
The Plug.
Yeah.
My name's Alex. Last night on the broadcast, Game 4 in Minnesota, Rich again, they show you guys at halftime, Perk. This whole like stand-up shot looks great. It's not photoshopped. And Rich gives you a shout out, Big Perk the Plug. Silence. 8 seconds. Complete silence. Like Doris and Mike, just like they don't even. 8 seconds goes by.
I gotta show
Anthony Edwards with his first field goal of the first half.
Yeah, I gotta show them who Big X the Plug. I gotta show them so they'll know.
You gotta show them.
I gotta show them.
And they gotta understand.
Like, when they know the song, they know the song. They know the song. They know his music. They know his music. They know his music because it's in every intro. It's in every intro.
Oh, all right.
Ooh, they might not know that.
They don't know that that's Big X the plug, but they don't know that. Right? They don't know that that's him. But I got to be like, okay, here's the song that you guys know. Here's who this is. So when I call Big Perk, you know what I'm saying? They'll get it. I'll listen. They're a couple boomers. I got them. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. I got them.
We've got a lot to get to, and we're not going to waste any time. Game 4 of Indy, the New York Knicks, is tonight. And then we are coming off Game 4. The Thunder have a 3-1 lead. And my question to y'all is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander the best player in the league? We're diving in.
I don't think these playoffs, this series between all four, I don't think I could put him just that much above. I'm going to say yes, but I don't think he's that much above the other great players. I think every great player has had great games and then a bad game. So that's just my opinion. But I don't think he's that.
You said nothing, Channing. You said nothing.
I just don't think. I think, is he having a great series? Absolutely. But I don't think he's like, oh, look how I'm just not as, I don't know why. I'm not saying he's not great. I'm not saying what he's doing isn't amazing. But I've also seen Jalen Brunson go off. I've seen Cat go off. I've seen Ant go off. I've seen Haliburton go off. So, like, it's just, I'm kind of not, I don't want to say I'm not impressed. It's not the right thing to say. I'm just like, okay. Like, maybe that's just how good he is. That's just, it's not right, but it is what it is, my opinion.
Go ahead.
Maybe you just used to it because he's been like averaging 30 for the last 3 seasons.
So, you know what? That could be the problem.
And he just won the scoring title, and he just like kills at the mid-range, so at a high percentage. Like, bro, this dude is unreal. Like, unfucking real. And when I think about the rest of the guys in the league, right, like the rest of the guys have, when you talk about the greats, they have some type of flaw, right? We can look at Jalen Brunson and, no, listen to me. We can look at Jalen Brunson and we can say his flaw is him getting picked on defensively. Tyrese Haliburton, right? He has his flaws. He also have his moments. But let's be real now, like we just seen a lot of different players on that Pacer team closed out those games. SGA closing this motherfucker out. Like, he is closing it out. Like, it ain't no all this, like, and I thought last night was the growth part of it. Like, motherfucker, when you're great and you start to grow, is when you're able to go get 40. Hold on. When you're able to go get 40 on the road and dish out, what he had, 10 assists?
9 rebounds. Almost had a 40-point triple-double on the road after getting blown out by 40 and having a bad game.
I don't know if it's another, it's not another player doing that. And
the 40 is impressive. The 40 is impressive.
He's not a liability defense.
His team is also, let's just be real. Can we give OKC's defense, he just doesn't need to be a traffic cone. Those fuckers are like a herd of ants. They are. He's a part of it.
He was top 5 in the league in steals. He's a part of their defense. There are players where you build your defense around shielding them. He's a part of the shield.
Totally.
Listen, and I think that's
here
the
to
part.
argue. I'm just
we're not.
You was arguing last night.
Let me say this.
Argue last night.
Yeah, he was. He was talking shit. This is what I want to say. This is the thing that's pissing me off.
I argue with y'all, I go back on Twitter. It's one or the other.
Stay off Twitter from
Twitter. Stay away from Twitter. Stay away from Twitter.
Never.
I have never. Yeah, Twitter is where you go when you're upset about certain things in your existence, and you're gonna figure out who you're gonna talk shit about, right? Like, who could? You know what? I'm pissed off about something, and so I'm going to get on there and talk a lot of trash about other things. So good for you guys. I love that piece of therapy that Twitter offers you. Keep me posted on how that goes. This is the thing that bothers me. I already see the setup. the same way in what they did to Jason Tatum last year, where they're like, yeah, he can't win a championship. Oh, well, he wasn't the finals MVP and then he shot poorly and we remember what did. And they just, all they did was discredit shit. Well, he's got the best team. All we did was find ways to not give Jason Tatum his flowers. My thing is this: when you would win a championship, that was normally the shut the fuck up time. Not like, well, you won a championship, now let's blah, 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 blah. And well, his teammates and did it. We're doing it to Shai. Shai is having one of the most epic runs that we have ever seen. His team is having one of the most epic runs. And we're like, well, man, how can we criticize him? What can we say about him that's not flawless, that he's not perfect? What can we say? Oh, he gets a lot of free throws. And it's like, well, the numbers don't match anything that we're saying. It doesn't matter. We are going to find something to criticize this kid that is having a multi-year stretch and an all-time run currently. How can we shit on him? And I get it. It's not just about the flowers. If he goes on and wins a championship and wins MVP and wins the scoring title and averages 30 a game, he's in the all-time single season space of one of the great seasons we've ever seen. And we're sitting here spending hours of programming, hours of podcasts talking about the amount of free throws. And he is middle of the pack when you look at MVPs and free throw attempts. And there was a great stat out there. That's what I'm saying.
It's worse than that. Yeah.
If I just heard it on Pat McAfee, I'm not exactly sure it's that. If you took away every free throw from every player in the entire league, Shai would still lead in scoring.
Really? Even more than, well, I guess Giannis goes to the line a lot.
Yeah, he goes to the line more. He goes to the line more than Shai. So think about that. If you just went bucket for bucket, Shai would lead the league in scoring. And we're going to sit up here for the next, if they close out this series, we're going to sit up here for the next 2 damn weeks and talk about free throws. That's the dumbest. I hate it. This is where when Bron and those guys were talking about the face of the league, this is what they were talking about. Who wants that? Blah, blah, blah. They don't want, it's like, I'm okay with criticism. I'm okay with this, but I've been watching basketball for damn near 35 years. I don't remember any player being criticized in this manner and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm okay with the critique, but we're spending hours of television, hours of broadcast and podcasts talking about free throws. That's what, and it does, and the numbers don't even match, but that's the only thing that they can find to criticize them. That's the only thing. And it's just disgusting about how we're promoting one of the great NBA seasons, one of the great NBA players, one of the purest human beings we have ever seen. He is one of the most flawless leaders we have seen in the game of basketball. He's got the aura, the charisma. He's got all of these different things. And we're sitting up here spending all of this time, even currently, talking about free throws. This is what the players were talking about. The face of the league. Why do I want to get shitted on for fucking months when I'm in a championship run about free throws?
You know a crazy stat I heard on the internet today? So his 110 free throws.
Did you see it?
I heard it because I was brushing my teeth and I was scrolling. His 110 free throws so far in this Eastern Conference, right? Where do you think that, or these playoffs? I think he has 110 free throws these playoffs. Where do you think that ranks, just in the history of basketball?
It's like 180 or some shit.
408. So it's not even close of how many free throws. 400. Think of all the players that have played ever. It's not even close. The number was I think James Harden was doing it. Allen Iverson had it. Kobe, Jordan, those guys were getting 20 a game.
They're making stuff up to hate on
People
players.
are really making stuff up.
They're making stuff up. They're making stuff up.
Can I ask a question? Real talk. Allie.
Yeah, because I got to call out Allie. Then I got to call out Allie. Go ahead.
Oh, shit. Oh. Listen, let me ask you a question. When does the player dethrone the other player of becoming the best player in the league?
No. I got this for you. Oh my God. I was so ready to toss that up for you, Perk. Oh, I'm so ready. No,
wait, what was the question? I wasn't paying attention.
Perk, that means you're getting good. That means you're getting good, Perk. That means you're getting good. Listen, when you're
go ahead,
Allie's
question.
What was the question?
So good.
I was looking at it got ADD. I was looking at when you told Marcus Morris about point guards.
I just love when I'm so aligned with you, Perk. It brings up because if I'm not mistaken, you had kind of mentioned this earlier in the series, obviously. And so as of right now, we can all agree who's the greatest player in OKC's franchise history as of today. Coming into this year, who is the greatest?
Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant. So it kind of takes us to. Oh no, you don't feel that way?
No, just keep going.
Just go ahead. No, we ain't about to go ahead.
We're gonna give some love to an individual we don't even know from social media because this can be the positive. Because I saw this conversation, our team saw this conversation, and I kind of dove into it deeper. And I'm very curious on your thoughts. And this can actually span across all 4 teams of the conference finals right now. So Gloomy Resort 9935 said whoever wins the ring this year would immediately become their franchise's greatest player, which then had Kent Sports 24, who's a great sports talk guy on Instagram. He poses a bunch of different conversations. Would a championship catapult any of these players to their franchise's GOAT? So when you speak of the Thunder, obviously it's SGA versus KD, and you're talking about in the franchise's run, okay? Not what they've done with not for KD, not what he's done with other teams. 8 seasons for KD, I believe Kent wrote, 6 for Shai. They each would have 1 MVP. And then obviously it's a finals appearance for KD with OKC. If Shai, which is what the question was to win a ring, would he become, to your point, Perk, the franchise's greatest player?
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. How can you deny it? Just think, just this season alone, scoring title, best record in the league, MVP. He's going to win conference MVP. NBA champion along with finals MVP. What a fucking run. But it didn't start just this year. Mm-hmm. So these past 2 seasons before this, he's averaged 30 and shot over 50% from the field. That's why he's the only guard that's sitting at the table with Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Mike has
You're
5
saying
seasons.
That he wouldn't have needed a finals appearance to even be in.
No. What I'm saying is, I'm not just going off of this one season. I'm going off of what led up to this point and then this adding on. Okay. And then, you know what I'm saying? Because this is also his 3rd straight year of being first team All-NBA. Mm-hmm. Right? So, like, in this short stint with Oklahoma City, you take them to the promised land and deliver the first championship. It's almost like looking at it like we all knew Toronto as what? Air Canada? Because of Vince. Kawhi goes there, and who could argue that Kawhi ain't the greatest rapper of all time?
He's not. It's Kyle Lowry. It's Kyle Lowry. It's not.
It is. I agree with that. I said that before. I agree with that. I actually agree with that. But what I'm saying is, SGA, he's going to dethrone them. But I was talking about best player in the league overall. Because
for the actual question.
Because Giannis, when he won it, after he won it, we was like, Giannis the best player in the league. Jokic won it, we was like, Jokic the best player in the league. Well, here we are.
That's actually a good. Now, after seeing what SGA is doing in the playoffs, his consistency of like, there's no drop off from what he does in the regular season and what he does in the playoffs. It is impressive. And if he continues to do this, which he will, we have to have a real conversation of like who's the best, like Jokic or SGA? But obviously he won MVP, but everyone says SGA's MVP, but Jokic is the best. Now do we say SGA is not only the best and he deserved that MVP?
What was your line on the text chain last night regarding consistency or inconsistency? Did you just call Shai this morning consistent after calling him what?
Yeah, last night. That's why I told him to take his drunk ass to bed.
We got to be careful because I think Channing workshops some things in the text chain. So when we bring it out here, because people are like, did he just call Shai inconsistent? And it's like, whoa. A lot like that. So the text chain is kind of like the writer's room. You got to have the ability to speak freely before you take it publicly. You got to.
For sure. Hey, listen.
The line is applicable in many areas of life, by the way.
Yes, but let's go. Let's go to the four. Let's go to the four franchises. I think if Tyrese Haliburton wins a final MVP, I still think Reggie Miller is still the greatest player in their franchise history.
Stop it, Richard.
I'm sorry. No. Understand. Reggie Miller played for 20 years. He went to a finals. He lost to Shaq and Kobe, right? I understand that. I'm not disrespecting. Like, this is where they talk about the ring stuff.
We're having a good conversation.
No. But that's what I'm saying. I'm not disrespecting them, but I'm also not going to disrespect an all-time great Hall of Famer, because you can win a championship. Tyrese Haliburton has a lot more to do on, and he most likely is headed that direction. But I still think win a championship, give me 5 more All-Stars, and then I can say that you're greater than Reggie Miller. I'm just growing up, for me, I'm being respectful and honest. Reggie went to a finals, lost to Shaq and Kobe. If he wins a final, if Tyrese Haliburton wins a finals MVP, he's one of the all-time greats. He's up there, all the space, right? But we could also sit here and say that the finals MVP could also probably go to Pascal Siakam. It could go to this could happen. So I'm saying it's like, just winning a championship doesn't immediately just thrust you into that space, in my personal opinion. Reggie Miller had a 20-year body of work that included going to the finals and battling MJ to a Game 7, the only Game 7 that the Chicago Bulls ever faced. So you take one of the greatest teams, the GOAT, and you're just like, oh, did this, and now you're the greatest player ever in the organization. I think we just got to be gentle with that. Let's get to the Knicks.
No.
Modern day basketball. If he does it modern day, yes. Because with the Knicks, you have to go back to the Walt Frazier, and they won 2 championships. They had multiple All-NBA. Go back and look at his numbers, right? They had multiple Hall of Famers in that group, right? And so, is there somebody moving around behind you, Big Perk?
Bro, you know I got 3 of my sons with me, bro.
No, I know.
They sleep,
Man,
bro.
Stay. Yeah, all right.
They're sleeping and we're screaming?
No, yeah, whatever. They can deal with it.
That's fine. They shouldn't be sleeping anyway.
Wake up at 12:30.
I don't give a fuck. It's fucking. It's 12:28.
They're growing boys, Perk. They're growing boys. Okay, so we go that. So then when we get wait. When we get to OKC, Kevin Durant goes to a finals, lose to Bron in Miami, young boys. I get it. MVP. He's got that. So you win an MVP, you're on the same place as Russ, you're on the same place as KD. If you win a championship, and OKC is a very young franchise, so we can look at it from just in the 2000s. At that point in time, he's got scoring titles. He's got a finals MVP. If he does get to that space, you can make an argument that he is the best player that the franchise has had. That's an easier argument than, I think, going Tyrese Haliburton versus Reggie Miller versus going, Brunson modern day in the last Patrick 40 Ewing. Years. Yeah, in the last Patrick Ewing. But again, if he wins a championship, you put him in that conversation, right? You put him in that conversation and say, yes, like he's in that conversation for the best player in the franchise. I'm not going to argue. I'll let fans that have loved these franchises decide. I'm just saying, the one place that you can probably point to, and who's on the other side, Minnesota. Damn right. We're covering the 4. We're covering the 4. Channing, relax.
I'm saying he already is in my book.
No. Yeah, that's saying he already passed. Wait. No. Calm down. KG got an MVP. KG's got an MVP. Let's slow down. KG's got an MVP. Like, I'm not going to disrespect the ticket, right? Like,
we're not disrespecting.
Yeah,
team success. Team success.
But hear me out. That's what I'm saying, is that you got to hit all of the bullet points, right? You have to hit all of those bullet points before, just to be in that conversation. That's my only argument for that. That's my only argument there. So it's the Kevin Durant Shai conversation is closer, in my opinion, than any other conversation. Kevin Durant went on to continue to be great and win multiple championships and win multiple Finals MVP. But if you just look at his time with the Thunder, being a team that wasn't very good when they were in Seattle, and building and building and growing to be a powerhouse, that's what SGA has done. Show up here, help build this team into a powerhouse, win an MVP like KD. If he goes on to win a championship, he has accomplished something that KD didn't accomplish.
So what? So Russ is just not in this conversation.
I knew you were going to bring this up.
I'm asking.
I knew you were.
I don't even want to spend a lot of time just asking.
I would
the
say
only
this,
reason why I presented the conversation is because it was the 4 players that were a part of the 4 teams in the conference.
And that's what I'm just.
That was the only So we can go to Russ because you've been very adamant about Russ, and
Russ's game. I love Russ's game, but when Russ won the MVP, and you look at it when they were the team's best player, that's what I'm referencing. When Russ was the team's best player in OKC, like he won an MVP, but if you look at what he won an MVP, multiple triple-double seasons, right? When I look at that, and you want to include his time with Kevin Durant when he was all-star, all-NBA, all the things. I'm just saying, if he wins a championship, Shai can sit here and say, I did something that nobody else has done in this organization.
All I'm saying is Russ is in that conversation.
Agreed.
The year that Russ won the MVP, like he was going to war with like Victor Oladipo, fucking Sabonis, a young Sabonis, like first, second year Sabonis, Steven Adams.
I forgot about that. Oh man.
Yeah, like bro, he led the league in scoring. Like he averaged a 30-point triple-double and led the league in assists. He had to do. And my thing is that year,
but they were like the 6th or 7th seed, lost in the first round.
But I'm not supposed to be there. And
Agreed.
He followed. My thing was he doubled, like he followed up on some shit like, okay, KD, you want to bounce? You think you leaving us for dead? No, you got me fucked up. And he had to go that, like he had to have those numbers in order to beat out James Harden Rockets. Like, man, I looked at Harden numbers when he was a Rocket. And I was like, what the fuck was he like? Bro, y'all go look at his numbers when he was in a Rockets uniform those seasons. Allie, it is fucking off the charts. Like 36 points a game, 29, 11, and 8. And I was
like, he's in the conversation, big fella. He's in the conversation. The only thing we're referencing before you get all wild up, keep a cool booty.
I'm not wild up. I'm cool.
Just chill it. What I'm saying is this. Of the 4, he, to me, has the easiest, clearest path to being the best player. And this is not an opinion. This is just off of if he accomplishes something that no one else has accomplished in their franchise history, right? Because the body of work for Kevin Durant, the body of work for Russ, all of that, there's a similar MVP standpoint, lead the league in scoring, all the things. Anyways, now let me call out Allie.
27, 8, and 7 for Russ and OKC.
Let me call out Allie.
For Houston. Hi, buddy. Oh, he's so cute.
Hi, little buddy. Hi, little buddy.
He got on silk pajamas.
Yeah. You looking smooth,
with the silk dogs?
Yeah, that's that new money. Hey, let me tell you, your daddy didn't grow up wearing silk PJs. Just know this. Your daddy worked real hard to put you in some silk PJs. Don't forget that, player.
Yeah, some Hanes underwear and a Fruit of the Loom t-shirt.
Let me call out Allie for a second.
Oh.
So I'm on the broadcast last night. I'm on the broadcast last night. And Doris Burke being the elite researcher that she is, she says, Richard, you shot 8 free. We were talking about the free throw merchant. We were talking about that. And she was like, Richard, you shot 8 free throws twice in your career. Mike Breen goes, you shot 8 free throws multiple times in an NBA season? You average that? And I was like, yeah, I did it a few times. I did it a couple of times. No big deal. I did it a couple of times. No big deal. But, that's for stats and research.
I don't think that's how that went.
Something along those lines. Allie goes, so she goes, I was Mike. I thought, Richard, I thought you were telling a fib. I thought you might have been embellishing a little bit. She was like, I was surprised. And I was like, oh no, Richard, they're going to check you. Richard, you know, these NBA fans are going to go crazy. And then she checks the stats and sees the numbers. And she was like, oh, you did average 8 free throws multiple seasons. I had no idea. And I'm like, damn, Allie, you thought I would just lie on the broadcast? I would if it was for jokes, but not about myself. I would embellish on a broadcast.
The secret's out. I feel like at times I feel like I'm y'all's mom. And so I try to just like keep an eye out for you when you guys aren't needing or care to do it for yourselves. So like Channing, when you get in feuds on Twitter and social media, I kind of get like sensitive. I get in my feels and I go like at people too. And I kind of like want to check and just make sure like they're not crushing you too much. Like this whole thing, right? Perk, same with you. When you're like dropping these takes, then I'm just like, oh my God, what's the backlash? What can I pull from Road Trippin?
What is he drinking is what I ask.
Like, I look out for you guys this way. And then leave it to this man, which like sometimes I'm just like, I don't even know which way to turn. But last night, I'm pretty sure the conversation went where Rich told everyone when he was getting fired up about the conversation about Shai, like, I averaged 8 free throws, blah, blah, blah. And Mike goes, you averaged 8 free throws? And Doris, I think, was like, we should probably look that up. And I was like, oh my God, Richard, this is where people can actually fact check you. Why would you lie? That's my first, like, I was like, why would you do that? I'm like, you just caught yourself because you're getting so emotional and you're getting so heated about defending Shai. Rightfully so, got it. So then I look it up and I'm like, oh, damn. The year that who won? Kobe won MVP. We looked this stat up last week with the whole Shai conversation. MVPs and the amount of free throws they averaged. Rich averaged like 8-3 that year and Kobe averaged 9.
Richard is the LeBron James of Corey Maggette. He loves getting
Okay, Jizzle. Speaking of Twitter,
can we not say Jizzle? Can we not say Jizzle?
You don't like that?
Yeah, yes. Listen.
Jizzle
likes it too much. That's the problem.
Yeah, listen. Look. This is the thing. Perk. The whole point of the argument was not to elevate myself. No one gives a damn about stats in 2005. No, it was to help people it was to help people understand how stupid this argument is about Shai and his free throws. I averaged maybe 21 a game. And I shot 8 free throws a night. You know, you make 6 or 7 of them, you get 5 or 6 buckets. Like, that's just a game because we didn't shoot a lot of threes. So you had to be a bucket getter or a free throw getter to score a lot in that space. People weren't shooting the volume of threes. I say that. If he could shoot 8 free throws, if I could shoot 8 free throws, 8.4 free throws multiple times in my season, I averaged 7 free throws 3 or 4 times over the course of my career. If I can do that and not crack an all-star game, and we're going to sit here and shit on an MVP for averaging 9, it is the dumbest, like bad faith argument that we could ever have. We are nitpicking, we are criticizing, we are doing all of these things. And this is, again, I go back. This is when players actually shit on being the face of the league. I'll be a great player, but I don't want any of that nonsense because I don't want you guys criticizing the stupidest things because we watched them do it with Bron. We've watched them do it with so many players. Why do I want to be a part of that? So that was my only point. SGA wants it and he doesn't, but I'm saying is that
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Now, speaking of X and Twitter, I'm gonna stay off of it for today. Right, I gave a take on First Take, and I was just actually it was just facts. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes people don't like facts. It ain't something I can't. It was like the take of did we crown Anthony Edwards too early, right? And I said we're to a space in the NBA where I don't see us having one face. I see us having a few faces, right? Like, I don't see just one guy being the face of the league. That's okay. But I did say history tells us it's not just about what you do on the floor, the commercials, the signature shoe, the jersey selling. Can you sell out arenas on the road, right? But also, history tells us that when you look at Magic, Bird, Jordan, Kobe, Shaq, some people want to argue if Shaq and Kobe were ever the face of the league. I'm not arguing.
They were.
Okay, but I'm saying that's other people, not me. I'm not.
You win a three-peat. You win a three-peat like MJ, like MJ did. You do a three-peat, something that Larry didn't, something that Magic didn't. You win a three-peat. You guys are the faces of the league, especially if you do it for the Lakers.
Braun, and Steph. Now Braun and Steph, right? Who's still carrying the torch of being the faces. I said all of those guys had in common that they were married with a family. Now, what happened with them after they got out the league, that's none of my business. But no, it's the truth. It's the
He says
fact.
you got to check all the boxes. He's saying you got to check all the boxes.
But am I
Ant's checking all the boxes?
No. I feel you though. But
Richard, what kind of box you checking?
Hey, am I lying though? Am I telling a lie?
Oh, score. Okay, my bad.
Am I telling a lie though?
I would say there was a time in the league where, as it was growing, the marketability of the league, a lot of it, what league was looking for. I get it. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. That is your take. I'm not disputing. I'm not saying that it is a fact. It is a factual thing. It is a factual thing.
But I wasn't trying to hold on. But hear me out. No. Hear me out though. Hear me out. Big sister, big brothers. Y'all hear me out on this. I wasn't trying to make it as my take. I'm just saying when I thought about it, it was a real thing. And that's what I'm just saying to, like, we're talking about billion-dollar companies, right? We're talking about like this is kind of like, yeah, like it's real. Like, true story. I lost an endorsement deal this season. This season was State Farm. Now, this was State Farm. I had signed the contract. I was supposed to do a State Farm commercial with Caitlin Clark, right? A reporter from ESPN writes a story about my Nilly company. State Farm tells me, and I know it's but I'm just telling you how like certain situations hurt. What's going on? State Farm tells me, nah, we good. I didn't hear back from them. Now
they didn't want to be a part of any smoke, any controversy.
They still had to honor the contract because it was signed. You know what I'm saying? Once it's signed, you still got to honor that on the payment side. But what I'm saying is, I lost out on a State Farm commercial that started running from fucking October. That's still running right now. It's the State Farm commercial that just stopped with Cassidy and Caitlin Clark. So, like, imagine I could have been on a commercial with Caitlin Clark. Like, fuck just it being State Farm. I missed out on the opportunity because of some shit that somebody wrote and happened that I got myself involved in. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I get you. It's the marketability. They're looking for a certain type. They're looking for a certain individual. That is what they're looking from a marketability. The more marketable you are, the better player you are, the better chance you have to be the face in the league.
I got a random question.
What are you doing, bro?
Getting my skincare. What are you doing?
He's missing his Botox appointments.
I know it. If Minnesota loses, would Minnesota then be the best spot for Kevin Durant to go?
What?
I'm thinking. I gotta
think about it.
Hey,
think about it.
Yeah, I believe so.
We talk about marketability. We talk about getting back, and this is random, but again, these are things that I see on the internet. You look at what Minnesota needs and who they got to move or not move, and you add a guy like KD with Ant.
Ooh. I think Ant needs KD, and I think KD needs Ant.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I know you mentioned this early in your show, Perk, but people are like, oh, did Ant play bad? I thought Ant played great. Like, I just think defensively he wasn't good. He was making the right plays. Like, OKC's so good defensively. He was just making the right play. They just couldn't get no stops. Like,
OKC saying with all they done with all of us experience. Motherfucker, you're not beating us today. Not you. Dante, we know you can shoot the three in the corner. Mike Conley, we know you can shoot the three. But motherfucker, y'all gonna have to knock him down because we're not letting this motherfucker get loose.
In the Lakers series versus Minnesota, Ant talked about how he saw a defense for the first time. I believe it was after game 2. And he was like, we'll figure it out. And obviously they did, right? Last night in the post game, he was talking about how they were clogging like even the gaps. Like he couldn't find his. Is that OKC? Is this something that Ant could overcome? Like,
no, wait. What? It's what? Go ahead, Perk.
It's not, because let me tell you this. I'm close with everybody in the organization at Oklahoma City. But one of my good friends who's the assistant coach, and I asked him, well, do you mind me saying this? He said he didn't give a fuck, right? It is what it is.
Just don't say his name.
No, yeah. So he was like, oh, no, bro, he didn't have back-to-back 30s. That shit ain't happening no more. Not tonight. And he was talking about Anthony Edwards. They
kept the guy with them. So when there was a pick and roll, you know, when they say drag 2, pick and roll, like, so you could drag 2 with you, and sometimes he'll go. They were staying with him until he gave up the ball. So it was like the angles and stuff were there. Let me say this, and I've said it on the broadcast, and they did it from game 1 to game 2. In order for Ant to go to the next level, he has to go to the post. The only way for him to go to the next level, Kobe, MJ, Bron, Kawhi, you look at great wing players, their post-game, Kyrie, great post players. That happens now. Why? Because one, bigger, stronger, more athletic than people in his position, right? So he's got the jump shot, he's got the skill. If he goes to the post, where they can double team him at on the court completely changes. Now, if you bring 2, now you throw it out, swing, open shot all day. So they got to decide where they want to double team. And when you're at the top of the key and you're looking down at 5 players looking back at you, it's very difficult to find angles. When I'm in the post and the out of bounds line is here, I know that's clear. So now I'm only looking at a certain angle that they can come from. I got turnaround over my right shoulder. I got turnaround over my left shoulder. I can pull it out. I can turn and face up. You have more one-on-one eyesight visibility if you are in the post. That is factual. That is, there's no opinion about that. The only way for Ant led the league in 3-point makes. He's one of the most dominant scorers. He's one of the most athletic players. So it's not like he needs to improve his 3-point shot. It's not like he needs to improve his downhill. The only way for Ant to go to that next level is for him to go to the post, and it'll be easier for him to be able to spot out. Even look at Jokic, look at Kevin Durant, look at Dirk Nowitzki. All of these guys, these very good perimeter players, started developing a post game that helped them elevate their game to the next level. That is it for Ant.
I agree. No, but he got to master his mid-range, because that's the
separation. The post is the mid-range. The post is the mid-range.
Okay, my bad, because that's the separation between him and SGA right now.
Like, it doesn't have to be, but the mid-range doesn't have to be off the dribble. It could be I catch it on the logo. I catch it on logo, turn and face. I'm mid-range. Now I got pump fake, I got back down, I got turn around. So when I say the mid-range game, to your point, Perk, is not just off the dribble mid. And it's off the dribble mid from the post too, but it's that area. If he masters that, there won't be any stopping him, right? There won't be any stopping him.
All right, let's go to the Eastern Conference Finals. Will this go back to New York tied 2-2?
If they can figure out a way for Cat and Brunson to be on the court and play defense together, yes. But that's a big what if. Because when it's only one of them out there, that's Cat or Brunson, the Knicks seem to be doing really well. When it's both of them out there, you can't have 2 traffic cones. That means somebody's parallel parking. Like, I don't know. I don't see, I'm in New York, but like, I think the momentum is good for New York. Like, they're like, hey, we can go, but I personally think they got to play through the post, like Richard just said, play through the post with Cat and get Brunson off the ball early in the game and have him move more like a mini Steph. Have him move and cut. But like him dribbling the ball, it's just not going to work this series. It's not going to work to win, especially in the fourth quarter.
You fucking coward. That's how you start your stuff off? That's how you start your stuff off? Like, you're not going to sit up here and say what you really feel? Tell the people how you really feel about Brunson.
No, I like Brunson. He just plays like Luka. Luka and Brunson play exactly the same.
Okay, say that.
That's not, you think that's a hot take. That's not really a hot take. Sometimes he even says this. He hijacks the offense. Everybody sees it. But if you play through Cat at times and get off the ball, you create mistakes for the team. If somebody sets a screen and they don't switch, you could back cut. To me, Brunson, like Ant, has to see the floor. And when he's dribbling, he's trying to direct. We've seen this happen with Luka. He is great offensively, but at times defensively, traffic cone. We've seen that. Also, to me, when he's trying to navigate the game, play chess, he takes a long time dribbling and everybody stands up. It's not that big of a hot take, and I'm curious.
I actually think Perk has the hot take, and he just wants to catapult off of that.
Who, me?
Oh,
Perk.
No,
yeah, it's not a hot take. Perk. Brunson and
Perk
Brunson
has the
and
hot
Luka
take.
are the same.
What's the hot take? What's Perk's hot take?
No, this motherfucker had it. He said that he's a miniature Luka, and we're not just talking about him dribbling the oxygen out the ball. We're talking about him fucking being a defensive liability.
Oh yeah,
like that shit has to stop with Jalen Brunson.
He can't
Real
stop.
talk.
He can't.
Bro, hold on, time out.
He can't move them dogs. They little dogs.
Hold on, time out. Don't tell me nothing about it can't stop, right? Like, don't tell me effort can't stop. Like, I'm not buying into that shit. Like, I'm not nearly as more athletic than a Karl Anthony Towns. Don't tell me he can't fucking get down in the position and guard when he need to. Don't tell me that I watched my guy, Eddie House, guard at a high level who wasn't known for defending. And you mean to tell me that Jalen Brunson, you can't play? It's not like you're just on the island by yourself and it's just you. No, you got people supporting you, right? So it's too many times I'm watching blow-bys. It's too many times that he's just being lazy, picking up fouls. If I'm Indiana, I'm going to keep going at his ass too. Like, no, bro, your best two players cannot be your worst defenders. That's the damn problem.
What's happening?
And it starts from within. I bet you Karl Anthony Towns, he got better in that fourth quarter defensively.
Yeah, but because here's the thing, Perk, in rotations, the way Indiana moves constantly, they put you in situations where over and over and over again
that you have to play defense.
Play defense. And then, but then you're asking Brunson to take on the whole backpack of the offense. And it's a lot for him.
No, we're not asking. We actually want Brunson to do less. He actually needs to trust his teammates a little bit more. Like, he might need to start letting Mikal Bridges bring the ball up so he won't be getting pressured and they start their offense with 16 or 15 seconds on the fucking shot clock, right? Like, you might want to go back to your pick and roll game with Karl Anthony Towns. They had the best pick and roll. They had the best pick and roll duo in the entire league this season.
Yeah, shut that water right off, big fella. He gets double teamed, and that's why when he gets double teamed, watch tonight. The Indiana Pacers do such a good job of having active hands. It creates turnovers, and it's exhausting. Also, when they run that screen and roll, when Cat gets it, here's a true story. Watch that last game, the last second half. I think Cat made 2 passes. 2 total. When he got the ball, he looked around and said, nope, this is my time.
I don't give a fuck. If he go ball like that, don't pass the motherfucker at all.
But that's the thing. I don't know if that screen and roll, they want to go to that because it's really no action. It's really just a pass to Cat.
I got a tweak for Tibbs. If I'm Tibbs, I start the same starting lineup first half with Mitchell Robinson in there, right? The second half, I come out with Wright in the lineup instead of Mitchell Robinson. Here's why. They completely changed the game when they start picking up 94 feet.
Oh, for sure.
I would start Shaman or is it not Darrell Wright, DeLon Wright?
Yeah.
Either those two guys because again, the only reason you change your lineup is because you're searching for protection defensively for Cat and Brunson, which that's supposed to be Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby, right? Like I'm waiting on OG. By the way, don't OG look slow as hell?
No, I think he looked fine. If OG was on another team where he got more opportunity to shoot, he would average 20.
I'm talking about defensively, man.
Dog, I've watched every second of this thing. The Pacers don't stop moving. They cut, screen, pass. They turn down good shots to get amazing shots. And in doing that, if you have two guys that you know you're in rotation with, Richard knows this. When you were playing in the finals versus Golden State, and they were doing all those cuttings, we were getting cooked when they were just able to move. You had to grab them, and when Kevin went out and Richard started, they switched 1 through 5 and kept everyone underneath them, right? And so what's happening is Indiana drives the hole, somebody has to help, kick, drive again, rotate. First quarter, that works. Second quarter, you need a little wind. Halftime, thank God for a break. That third and fourth quarter, you are exhausted doing all this consistently, and then you're getting picked on. If you have one guy that's not that good at rotation, is a little bit different than having two guys that are not that good closing out in rotations. Like Brunson's last foul.
It's level of greatness. It's level of greatness, dog. Like, it's a reason why Steph probably value his fourth championship more than probably any one of the other three. He might value the number one like in the same kind of conversation, but that fourth one, he had to dig deep. Like, he had to really dig deep. Like, yes, he had to be electrifying offensively because Clay wasn't Clay at the time. Andrew Wiggins was the second best player. But defensively, that's when he leveled up on his greatness. Like, Boston was trying to search him out. It was stuck in my head. I was sitting there watching the play. They ran a pick and roll. Al Horford got it on the block, and he was trying to crab dribble and pop. Like, and Steph wasn't moving. Like, no, you got to stop. They got the rebound. It's like, he flexed. I'm like, that's the greatness. But it took him getting in the lab, right? It took him to put on muscle. Like, that's what I'm saying. So, like, I'm not buying the excuse that guys are not naturally gifted to defend. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Okay, Rich, I don't think I've ever heard you be this quiet. So Channing gave me a what if. Channing gave me a big if when I asked the question if this will go back to New York tied 2-2. Perk, Rich, will this series in the East go back tied 2-2?
I say yes. I say yes. I think this is a moment for big body Brunson. He owed his team one for that horrible performance he put on in game 3. Foul trouble, 6 for 18 from the field. I always look at guys' body language. His post-game interview, I could see it all in his face. He wasn't pissed at Tibbs. He wasn't pissed at he was pissed at himself. And I think he's going to come out on the mission. I don't know if Aaron Nesmith is playing, but if he is playing, he's not going to be 100%. I think Rick Brunson then got on Jalen Brunson's ass, and I think he's going to come out and show up and show out.
I don't know, bro. I sit here and, like, we know in this position, we've seen a lot, we've played in a lot. Like we can have our strong opinions, we can have our beliefs. And I'm not even ducking the question. I'm just saying Indiana had a chance to go up 3-0, and there were up 20 at home, and they had a struggle in the fourth quarter. You look at what the Knicks, should have won multiple games in the way that Indiana came back at home. I truly don't know which teams that we're going to get. I see starting lineups starting to change. I've seen fourth quarters not go the way. I don't know. All kidding aside, I don't know. We can give an opinion, but I like giving an opinion in a space where it's like I'm giving an opinion based off of what I've seen over the course of 6-7 months or multiple years, depending on the team and the player. But the things that we have seen in the last 3 games, no one could have guessed that. So why am I going to start predicting something that's been unpredictable?
And I love when you become difficult. Okay, so with that said, Rich has no fucking clue. We're going to wrap this podcast up, and I just thought this was an interesting conversation and one to end on. Giannis did a little Q&A on X, and or he answered some questions, but then he also responded to Hoops Mix Only, who actually put out an awesome visual. And Hoops put Team USA or Team World in a series. Giannis quote tweeted that. And so the guys that he had in it would be AD, KD, LBJ, Tatum, Steph, for example, right? Yeah. And then obviously Wemby, Luka, Joker, Giannis, and Shai. That was the question in a series. But then Giannis quote tweeted and said, "This should be next year's All-Star Game format. Must see basketball."
See what happened when you get bored?
He got too much time off, man. Go back to the waiver.
Why don't you guys like that?
Because there's not. If you were to go 12, let me go this real quick, Perk. If you were to go 12 and 12 All-Star games, right? Like a 12 All-Stars from both conferences, 24 players. Right? So let's say you field 12 Americans and 12 Europeans. Let's say when you got down from 8 to 12, if you got down to the 8 to 12, I think that there would be American players currently at this point in time that would miss out on the All-Star games because of the format. Players that were having All-Star seasons, you could have ideally, let's say it would be a Tyrese Haliburton. Tyrese Haliburton wouldn't make the All-Star game because we wanted to go to this international format. So then we would elevate an international player. So if we're saying that this is the format, understand making All-Star games, whether it's in players' contracts, whether it's in different things that they can hit, a player would get affected. The All-Star game is about the best 24 players in this league, and they have shitted on it and it's trash and it's all this. But if we just go international, you're going to get the 12 best international, and they would be considered All-Star games. So let's just say, hypothetically, I'm going to be Bojan Bogdanovic, right? Let's say he's the 11th, All-Star, right? Because he's one of the 12 best international players currently. I'm making stuff up. But if he's one of the 12 best international current players, then let's say Jamal Murray, who hasn't been an All-Star yet, could crack an All-Star game because he is an international player. Now we could be ideally taking an All-Star game away from Tyrese Haliburton to put Jamal Murray in just to field the international roster. That is not fair for the entertainment for one day. That's entertainment for one day, for one game, and you're taking away something that somebody has done 6-7 months or 5 months of work. That's why I don't like that format.
That these 5 starters for both sides would not be the 5 greatest international and 5 greatest Americans. I think after that, then you fill out the rosters, and it doesn't have to be international versus the United States. I think you just fill out the rest that's 14 guys fighting. I bet you they're going to play their ass off to be all-stars. I bet you the momentum going into that all-star voting might look a little different.
But we can't just play 5-on-5 because you got to go subs.
Which is why you fill out the rosters.
So now you're going to have an American player. What if an American player is playing on the international side? Respectfully, if I was in that position, I wouldn't want to be. Fuck that. If we talk about international, I'm not going to make buckets for Giannis so that we can shit on America tomorrow. Fuck that.
It's just how you start it. It's not going to be labeled as international versus American. Wow.
Nah, you act like this ain't some smoke.
I just think it's a great starting
world champions of what? Be careful when we start talking about this pitting American basketball players versus the rest of the world. It's a delicate topic.
Look at you, RJ.
I'm with you. I'm agreeing with you. What?
It's done.
Hold on, but look at you, RJ. See how we able to keep receipts, and now he just said it wouldn't be fair to the other people who didn't work there 4 or 5 months, work their ass off for 4 or 5 months.
Where are you going with this, Perk? Where are you going?
But hold on. But when I said it about Steph and the way that Steph started the season, and I said he shouldn't have been an all-star because he took away from a guy like Norman Powell who was balling, I was called everything but a child of God. I was called everything, and people saying, "What kind of take is that? Are you kidding me? The All-Star game is in Golden State." I said, I thought it was supposed to be the players that deserve to be there.
That's like, you, bro. That's you, player.
Oh, God. What you mean that's me?
Maybe this wasn't.
I hear your opinion.
Honestly, I thought it was a fun idea. I agree.
Yeah. It is a fun idea. It is a fun idea. I'm just saying that, yeah, we look at the top 5 to 7 international players are some of the best in the world. But it's when you get to that 8 to 12, that 8 to 13, when you fill out the rest of it would be competitive. No one's saying it wouldn't be competitive. But we're taking all-star games away from American players if we do it.
Jokic.
Don't give me the top 6.
SGA.
Give me 7 through the 13. Okay, go. I'll wait. I'm saying that I'm checking off. It's 107. I gotta go. Go.
I know. Maybe on that note, that's how we leave it.
No.
It would be like Franz Wagner. It would be like Vooch.
Dylan Brooks.
No, brother, come on now. We ain't putting Dylan Brooks now. Come on, brother. We ain't stooping that low.
Y'all made an argument about Jamal Murray never making an all-star game. In this format, he makes an all-star game.
Oh, then you're
Brooks
happy.
Make an all-star game.
As a Jamal lover, you're happy.
That's my guy. But he's got to earn it. I want him to earn it.
Buddy Hield. Nicholas Batum.
Wow. For all of you that are tuning in, you've seen all the sides of us today on this podcast. Weigh in and let us know what you think. If you agree with Giannis and Allie or grumpy old Richard. We love when Rich gets grumpy. Having said all that, remember to like and subscribe. We love all of you and we want you to tune into our YouTube page whenever you can. Hopefully we'll be doing some lives, Channing, you and me.
Yeah. Whoa.
Devin Harris.
In LA with Devin Harris and Rich and Perk and Bob Myers on the road.
All right.
Perk, why are you looking at me like that?
He's frozen.
No,
all right. I gotta run. I love you guys.
We love all of you.
Goodbye.